I really enjoyed this session. Really enjoyed this session. Jumped in with a friend of mine who arguably was one of the first people to introduce me to powerlifting. And I worked well. I surprised myself. I'll be completely honest. Today was a great success. Whilst I wasn't over the moon about my technique on my squats, there was a few things that were going wrong with them. I lacked focus in one of my working sets. However, the weight didn't feel overbearing. It didn't feel like I didn't belong. From a weight perspective, I just need to tidy up my technique under that load. That's all. So I'm grateful for that experience. I really enjoyed that experience because again, I wouldn't even sit here and say I was apprehensive about the squats today. I wasn't really apprehensive at all about the squats. I was extremely apprehensive about the deadlifts. Now, anybody that's followed me for a little while and knows roughly where I'm at with regards to my deadlifts, I feel like my technique has been lacking of late, and that has not been helped by the program I'm currently on. The program I'm currently on, you don't deadlift that much, and you deadlift after your squats on what is a squat and deadlift day. And that means I've been finding myself getting to my deadlifts being somewhat taxed. I wouldn't go as far as saying I've been exhausted, but I've been taxed. I wouldn't sit here and lie. So I'm yet to feel like going into today, I hadn't really felt like my deadlift had been worked. I hadn't really felt like I had grown in my deadlift in the same way that I have with the squat. I've been taking the squat now consistently for reps at certain weights that I've never done before. So naturally, that's going to feel like a huge success for me. Like I'm developing my ability under the bar and like my squat is improving. However, I couldn't say the same for the deadlift going into today. But boy, oh boy, was I pleasantly surprised. Like, honestly, I am over the moon with my performance over the bar. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. For one, I'll be real. I may sound like I'm being fake humble here, but I genuinely didn't think I had it in me. I'm not gonna lie. I was extremely apprehensive. I was extremely nervous stepping up to the bar with 185 loaded on it, knowing that I needed to take it for 3. Now, whilst the program calls for 2 to 3 reps, every time so far in this program it's called for a rep range, I've always changed it and put the highest rep on it. Because that's just come on, if you're about it, that's what you got to be about, innit? Right? And I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I was terrified. You would have thought that I was stepping up to a 5-plate deadlift for the first time. The way my heart was going, the anxiety was through the roof. And the first pull was nice. The first pull felt heavy. It felt like 185, and that left me a little bit scared. But then it came up again, and it came up clean. And then I was like, okay. And then it came up again, and it came up even cleaner, arguably, on the last rep. It didn't feel cleaner, but it looked cleaner. So I was like, damn, what's happened here? And it led me to think about the fact that, obviously, I've been doing a lot more volume on the squat. And amongst all that volume, your lower back gets lit up and gets worked extremely hard and is forced to stay stable. That's why you find a lot of people have a lot of carryover between their squat and deadlift. And in the most strenuous days of my squat days, where I've been doing the most volume, the area of my body that has been lit up the most was my lower back. When I did the 10 cluster sets, I had to lie on the floor 60% of the way through because my lower back was so lit up that it genuinely felt like something was going to snap. I'm someone who's not used to such an extreme pump like that. So that sensation was very alien to me, and it felt dangerous to the point where I almost gave up just to be safe. However, now I know that I can push through that, and that's just nothing but a pump. Anyway, so that's got me thinking, right, my squat has definitely help my deadlift in this short period of time. And I don't have to fear my deads because of, how do I put it? I don't have to fear my deads because of the lack of priority they've been given in this program. Because now that I sit here and think about it, this program doesn't prioritize deadlifts, and I'm assuming that it's because it takes the philosophy that I've heard some people have, which is that the deadlift isn't something that needs to really be drilled home on a regular basis. It is something that can be attacked once, twice a week and see improvements on it if you're going hard on everything else. And it's not something that you really want to attack hard too regularly because of how taxing it is on your CNS. So it makes sense to me that today I've come in, and even though there's been many variables, I've tried many new things today. I had snacks in between sets. When I say snacks, I just had a little bag of raspberries that I was munching on in between sets. I had far less rest time than I'm used to having because I was training with a friend. Whenever I train with a friend, I always rest a little bit less. And yet I was still able to perform. Albeit I had a very, very high calorie day yesterday, extremely high. I must have hit close to 5,000 calories yesterday, which is a big day for me. However, today I've probably had 500, 700, if that, along with a coffee. On top of that, my last set on the deadlift, I took my shoes off, which I very quickly regretted. However, I felt like my feet placement and my connection to the ground had been an issue in both my squat and my deadlift today. Partly because I feel like the shoes I wear, I either need to tie them up really tight or just take them off, even though they're barefoot shoes. Because they're barefoot shoes, they give you room to move, especially around the toe box area. And with that comes unnecessary movement when you're lifting. You don't want that. You want rigidity when you're lifting. So yeah, there's a lot of food for thought, and there's a lot of things to be happy about. There's a lot of things to take home and improve on, without a doubt. However, the consistency of my deadlift form was the thing I'm most proud of. I took 192 for 2 reps. Prior to today, I hadn't been able to take 180 for 2 reps. So that naturally is going to feel amazing. It's a rep PR in many ways. And that's what? It's 10 kilos off my 1 rep max. That's a huge win for me, huge win. And it's crazy because this whole time I felt like, damn, I'm not looking forward to testing my deadlift. Well, I'm not planning to test my deadlift anyway. But this whole time I've been thinking to myself, I'm just not looking forward to get to the heavy side of the deadlift work because I don't have faith in my deadlift. But after today, I really do. And that's nice. That's really nice to have, because I'm more than excited for my bench work. I'm more than excited for my squat work. And now I'm finally more than excited for my deadlift work. So it's a very nice place to be in. I must admit, it's a very nice place to be in. It's taken a decent amount of work to get here. Today was hard work. It was hard work. However, coming back to this low volume work, I feel very much at home. This was the stuff that I practiced for so long. Do I feel like I have benefited from the 2.5 weeks of what for me is high volume work prior? 100%. 100%. I officially love volume work. I do. It's, in my opinion, in my recent experience, is vital. It's vital. It's vital to, quote unquote, cross train and attack your body in different ways and force it to work in different ways. So for that, I am extremely grateful for this experience. I've enjoyed this program like more than I can even put into words, to be completely honest. And I can't wait to, quite dramatically, albeit I will be changing quite a lot, because this program just doesn't really suit me training every day as it stands. However, foundationally, there will be so much that I take from it, and this experience. And I really can't wait. I'll be honest, I really can't wait. So I look forward to seeing where it takes me. I look forward to completing this block and getting on to the next one and staying consistent, yet to miss a beat. And I'm proud of that. I really am proud of that. Life can get in the way, if you let it. So if you made it this far, thank you very, very much. This was a very, very long one. I appreciate you more than you can imagine. And I shall see you tomorrow. Thank you.